I'm looking for someone to assist me with this map of the United States where to camp for free and cheap throughout the whole United States, particularly so far on the western side of the United States. And I would like to turn this into an app and web-based platform. I don't have the technical skills to achieve this, and I think this would be extremely useful for a lot of users. The person I'm looking to help me with has to be trustworthy and cooperative and not too greedy. I am willing to share proceeds of the application and website access fees. And the reason why there would be fees is not because I'm looking just to make money off of this. I do want to help people, but because I don't want a lot of these great places, many of them being secret, to be overrun with too many people and overcrowding. And so when I want to go camp someplace, it will suddenly be packed. And I also disclose, in my opinion, what the best sites are for many of these campgrounds that I've been to. And so I want to be able to reserve or get some of those great sites without someone else taking it every time. And the way this stands out from other apps and maps that are similar is that it is extremely accurate. I have physically been to most of these places myself, and the icons will allow you to see immediately what kind of a site it is. For example, a black star means this is a great free campsite. An S with blue around it means that's a state park campground for all states. It will still be blue with a S, signifying that they have showers. If it isn't blue, there are no showers. These gray boxes mean that's more like an urban setting and is going to be something like a parking lot, not such a scenic place. So this one is designed to let you know of um, what you're going to be getting into without even clicking on it. And then I have these optional things here, such as a danger entry exit off highway, very congested, special notes like that, M for military campgrounds, and then people can click to turn on and off layers. I have a midterm layer, meaning 1 to 29 nights. There are other layers, such as notes, long-term RV resorts that are low cost, desperate, meaning try to find something great, but if you're stuck in that area and you're desperate for something, you might want to consider these. These will generally have problems such as being noisy or very unlevel or require 4x4, something like that. And then I have bad, meaning you need to just completely avoid these places. And for example, this one, I will say, this is a Columbia River RV park, better than it's $450 a month. It's, for whatever reason, I say it's not a good idea because there's a better one nearby, Oxbow Regional Park. Some explanation as to why it's bad there. It has poor internet, and let's see, Van Mall RV parking too close together. So I put reasons why they're bad if you doubt that. Homeless parking areas, Alaska and Canada layer, includes casinos, BLM land. Not every site is on here. So for super users who contribute, they would get a free subscription to help add some sites. If I have a partner particularly useful, contributing a lot, they would substantially benefit from the fees that will be charged. Because I wouldn't be greedy, I will be fair. We can have a written contract. I don't have the technical skills to put together an app or an interactive website yet, so I'm looking for somebody with the technical skills. It could be under the umbrella of an LLC, for example, to protect from any legal liability. Yes, there are several other things like Campendium and freecampsites.net. They are pretty good, but we still need another one that's more accurate and with a administrator who's willing to make better updates, because with freecampsites.net, Campendium, and a few others, a lot of the listings are actually extremely inaccurate and the GPS coordinates are wrong. A lot of their listings are extremely outdated. For example, you can get in big trouble by going to some of the places they recommend for free boondocking. It's just simply illegal there and not allowed. Some examples of useful information with the I symbol: OMP means overnight parking allowed, cold winters and hot summers. So some things to keep in mind when you're in that area. I'll often put something like a red X, meaning it's quite a ghetto area to completely avoid if possible. Cell phone towers with information on, meaning it's the first 4G signal southbound. So that means if you're coming from San Francisco southbound to Santa Cruz, you're not going to have any cell phone reception until you get almost into Santa Cruz. I have a lot of listings, hundreds of listings for free places that places like Campendium and freecampsites.net do not have. These are places that I researched on Google Maps and other places to find out about, or asking people or even sometimes I ask police officers, not very often, but sometimes I do, where I can camp for free, and they tell me, and I put this on the map. And I just I don't spend my time updating, trying to convince freecampsites.net or other maps of the places I found, because a lot of times they won't listen to me or they won't let me change any listings. And so I just decided to make my own map instead, because this way I have control over editing things that are important, at least to me, and should be to other people. Lots of details, whether it has showers. A lot of places don't have that. Like I said, the color coding of the icons. This is currently made with Google Maps for free, but I want to convert it into a paid app and a paid website platform where people can subscribe to it monthly or annually. Here's something really unique that might irritate some people who might live in these places. Here's a list of lots of bad areas to avoid, and here are some interesting notes like bad Verizon and PF meaning Planet Fitness and Mercedes. That's kind of just a personal note that can be removed for the purpose of the app. And I have a military layer, so that would be for people who, like me, who are honorably discharged veterans or retired, who can access military campgrounds. Most people won't use that layer, but some people will find that particularly useful. Interesting caution police. That means I have had the 3 a.m. knock in the morning here. I believe this is something like a restaurant. I think it's International House of Pancakes or something like that. And I put a note on here that the fine could be up to $300. So just don't even mess with that place. For those who are watching who are drooling over this and wish they could have access to it, please put a comment in your a comment in the down below, and I will keep track of you to contact later on when this is released. So currently this would be mostly for people out west, and I'll be adding a lot more as I travel through the country. Florida, that's where I started doing this, and most of these are just parking lot areas for now. When I return to that area, I will be more focused on the campgrounds. But out west, it's everything. parking lots, BLM, regional, national parks. The N means it's national, and all kinds of icon shapes and colors. Diamond means that it's going to be fee-based, and if it has a blue outline, that means no showers at the campground, but they are nearby. So I think this would be the most helpful map of all of the other, compared to the other similar campground maps, the most helpful, at least in regarding what you see is what you get. The first thing you see without clicking on it, you can tell quite a bit, and the others are just not doing that to this extent because it's a lot of work. And so it, I deserve it to be a paid app, um, and website access. I kind of really do want to do it for free, and I have no problem with doing that, except like I said, this really needs to be limited. And so it would be win-win for those who contribute to pay for this service, because they would be getting the best service and I would get paid for it, and it would limit the amount of people going to these places, especially the free ones. If I gave access to everybody of all these free sites, when I go there, they will all be full once this app and software become popular. So it has to be limited somehow, and there's no better way than to make it fee-based. Those fees can also help cover the actual costs of administering this. And of course, the sales pitch for people to be attracted to this would be, for the cost of 1 year, if you just use this 2 times, it has paid for itself. Possibly just 1 time, it's paid for itself for a whole year. And not only that, you have the most astonishingly helpful and accurate information that will save you a lot, not only just money, it'll save you a lot of time. Here's another interesting category I'm going to have, is Boondockers Welcome. That has to be highly restricted because there's personal information about some of the places I have visited there. So that layer probably cannot be on there at all, because I have the owner's home address and phone number, which you're not allowed to have that unless you're a member of Boondockers Welcome. So if somebody can confirm they are a member of Boondockers Welcome, maybe they can have access to that layer. I'm not sure. I would have to get with the owner of that website to see how that would work. Now, if you are not interested in being a partner for the technology end of it, but yet you can contribute a lot, I can allow you access to the map. You can log in and make changes and edit listings if I can trust you with that. And if you contribute a lot, then I can go under contract with you so that whenever it does become live as a paid app or online website, you can earn a percentage of the profits of the fee. So let me know if you want to, if you're interested in that. I can only allow just a few people, maybe even not more than one, that kind of administrative access, because if something is maliciously messed up, then if it's only one person, I know who it is, and I would just simply stop access. But I can also back this map up, so if it were maliciously attacked, I would have a backup map, although it may be kind of a technical difficulty re-implementing it, the backup version. I think as a public service, we can make the homeless parking areas accessible to everyone. And do I only have one listing? So Santa Barbara is a very popular place. It's very interesting. That's one of the most expensive areas in the country. Actually has a program that allows homeless people to park in many different parking lots for free overnight. but there's a waiting list to get in. Maybe we can also offer them the desperate and bad category for free, just to give everybody a taste of what this map is about, because I don't have to worry about competing with people taking those crappy spots. And it could also serve a public service, as to letting people be warned not to camp there, and if they do, what the problems will be if they go there. Now, it may not be so difficult to turn this into an app or online um, database for somebody who's not interested in partnering. If you know how to do it, please let me know. I will give you credit for it somehow, lifetime access at minimum, and be forever grateful if you could help me figure out how to convert this into something similar to what Campendium and freecampsites.net has. But I want to be better than them. I want the listings to be much higher quality. And I know there's other ones, RV Parky, something like Overnight, RVparking.com. There are many of them. They all have their pros and cons. I want this one to have as few cons as possible, and to be the highest developed one of all, with the most benefits. Also, although I expect to live many more decades, I am already nearly 50 years old, and so I do want this to get in the hands of somebody, at least eventually. I don't want to have done all this work, and if something happens to me, nobody knows about it. So I really do want somebody else to have access to it. That would be a trusted person, to be a master editor or a business partner, because this is extremely helpful for society, for those who do camp, whether they're homeless or wealthy people living in a big Class A, whatever. This information is extremely helpful. It's actually environmentally friendly, because you will prevent going to the wrong places. You'll be able to plan your trip more efficiently and avoid driving around looking for some place to stay the night. So I have great incentive to publish it in that regard, one way or another, whether it's free or paid. If I can't figure out how to get this into a paid app or website reasonably, then I might offer it for free somehow. There has been a tremendous amount of work put into this. I have copied some of these from other apps, such as freecampsites.net. Some of the information is copied. It's not a copyright problem because I reworded it or whatever. They don't own the copyright to the GPS location, so I was able to still implement it in the map legally, and will be able to offer it as a paid service. And now, some reasons it is quite a lot of work. This involves an extremely intense amount of scouting, driving all around these places, asking people questions, physically walking, not just driving, but walking around the campgrounds and documenting what are the best sites and what are the crappy sites. That takes hours for each campground. So each of these places I have spent several hours documenting. Which ones have shade? Which ones can I get solar? Um, what are the pros and cons of these campgrounds? What are the showers like? Do the showers take quarters or tokens? How many quarters and tokens? How long do the showers last? Are they private showers? Does it stink? Does the bathroom stink? Is it clean? All these details I put in there. So extraordinarily well done work, I think, in most or all of the places I've actually been to. Like I said, some I have not been to. Most of them I have on here. The ones I have extremely helpful information. You'll know whether you're going to have to deal with quarters or tokens, or whether you can get free showers. And I have another map where, as an auxiliary map, where I have listed all the places you can get showers, such as community centers, where you can fill your water tank in the city if there's no RV park nearby, all those kinds of details. So extremely helpful, very unique and unusual setup here that I think would warrant a fee, and especially once the eastern United States gets developed, perhaps there's somebody who can help develop the eastern side. That would be helpful. But in the meantime, it would be marketed as a Western camping map. All right, I hope to hear from you in the comments or an email on my website, one way or the other.